Asus were clever to enter the market with an offering that could rival the Redmi Note 5 in terms of performance and features as well as the Note 5 Pro in terms of price. Having stock Android was also a good reason for many to shift to the smartphone since the Mi A1 had begun showing its age. However, there wasn't a 6GB variant, and for some, the Note 5 Pro's superior camera setup also meant it wasn't a feasible alternative. However, Asus promised that a 6GB variant was in the works and also one that included better cameras. Now the smartphone is finally here. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas, and this is the review of the Zenfone Max Pro 6GB. I'll not dive too much into detail regarding what hasn't changed, but I'll briefly talk about it. The design remains practically identical, but from what I gather from memory, the build quality seems to be better. It does feel heavier, although the exact weight might as well be the same as the older variant. Now, I don't have the regular Max Pro to compare, but if my memory serves me right, the difference is tangible. The screen too remains the same 5.99-inch IPS panel with 1080p resolution. It's pretty sharp and bright and is better at those two things than the Note 5 Duo. Performance is courtesy an octa-core Snapdragon 636 chipset, but the RAM has been upgraded to 6GB, and that does help multitasking. It doesn't make a world of a difference, but for heavy users the extra RAM will definitely come in handy. How much exact difference it makes will be decided when we do our speed test, but in daily life the difference is marginal. You get dual SIM, dual 4G VoLTE and a dedicated microSD card slot, but the phone still doesn't support 5GHz wireless networks. The camera unit has been changed from a 13MP f2.2 snapper to a 16MP f2 unit, while the supporting 5MP depth sensor stays the same. The front camera too has been bumped up from an 8MP f2.2 unit to a 16MP f2.1. While specifications tell only a side of the story, these samples will help you get a brief idea about the changes while we prepare our detailed camera review on the same. From what we see so far, the changes do make a difference, but perhaps not as big as you would have hoped for. The audio of the speaker is pretty good, both in terms of clarity as well as volume outputting. It's also noticeably better than the Redmi Note 5 Pro and Note 5 in this respect, as well as audio over the headphone jack. You still get around 8 to 9 hours of screen on time from the huge 5000 mAh battery, and it still charges over a micro USB port that takes around 3 hours for a full charge with the bundled adapter. You can make use of the phone as a power bank too if needed. When it comes to the 6GB model, the improvement in RAM does improve performance, but perhaps that shouldn't be the only deciding factor when you decide to shell out the extra money on this phone. If you're in for better cameras too, then the phone is perhaps worth it because it definitely yields better pictures than the original. How much better, we'll let you know in our camera review. Thanks for watching this video. See you again in the next one.